All right, hello everyone. Welcome into Resurrection Cup 2023. We're here with the last two matches of the round of 32. Starting off with Sleep Accommodation versus Contentpilled. I'm Dio. I'm here with Subaru Arima for these last two matches of the round of 32. How's it going, Subaru?
Hello, I'm doing very well, thank you. It's very hot, I'm a bit tired, but other than that, I'm really good to go and see how those matches are going to happen. On paper, not necessarily the closest matches, but I'm hoping that the bit of underdog teams can surprise us.
Yeah, hoping for some surprise points from the underdog teams, frankly. Sleep Accommodation versus Contentpilled in particular, I think I'm looking for surprise points and not a surprise victory. It's Seed 3 versus Seed 30. If you were paying attention during the qualifiers results, you know that the drop-off between top 3 and everyone else in the tournament is extremely huge. And you know even more so that the drop-off between, like, top 15 and everyone else in the tournament is even bigger. There were a lot of people who really had a lot of trouble in qualifiers, Contentpilled included. Their team was hard carried by TS Fury. So, looking for them to pop off with him on a map or two and maybe take some point in this matchup.
I mean, yeah, there are a few noticeable names on Team Contentpilled, but then you look at the left side and you see all those big names that you would see in like top-tier tournaments or even Nosu World Cup, and you see that it's probably going to be a little bit one-sided on some of these maps, but as you said, players like TS Fury could definitely carry a point or two, hopefully for them. Even if you're going into the match as the underdog, I don't think it's like really a fun thing for the mental to start your tournament with a sweep. So I'm hoping to see them score at least 1 or 2 points. We're going to spawn up Scarlet Rose, of course. No need to introduce this map, and we do see someone going Flashlight actually, Shadow of Dark.
Yeah, that guy plays Flashlight all the time. He's got 86 accuracy, which is actually better.
It's pretty good.
better than any of the easy players in the lobby right now. That's for sure. Somehow, still actually hitting notes. I think he's playing Tap X also or Mouse. Not actually sure, but yeah, he is pretty good at Flashlight. He's pretty good at Flashlight. He's a Flashlight sight reader on a lot of maps. Just goes for Flashlight scores all the time. Not super useful in a tournament setting, but, you know, cool nonetheless.
Yeah, that is looking like a mouse click, as you were saying. And yeah, I mean, Flashlight sight read definitely not the most well-known or expected playstyle, but very respectful towards those players, as I really know nothing about Flashlight really. And I mean, I guess this map is so well known, you kind of just remember the patterns, because most players have played it a lot, so that could probably help, but still, really impressive score, 88 IQ on Scarlet Rose and Flashlight. Nothing to scoff at. I mean, it is only the warm-up, so not really going to represent what is going to happen during the actual match.
Yeah, I think this is just for fun. They're just hanging out right now.
Exactly.
You got half the lobby on easy, and the other half of the lobby is either Nomad or you got Autopilot for TS Fury and Flashlight for Shadow of Dark. So, yeah.
Autopilot with the constant smoke also. And hopefully, after these warm-ups, we would quickly forward the pick and ban phase. Do you actually have any pronostics on what we could see as picks or bans?
I think for Contentpilled, you're probably just looking to pick the easiest maps in the pool and ban the hardest maps in the pool. Like, you probably want to ban out stuff like the Nomad 3, or maybe some of the speed picks like the Double Time 3 or Fremont 1, or sorry, not Fremont 1, Fremont 2. Because the other team, Sleep Accommodation, has a lot of really good speed players, and B, a lot of players that are just better than you. So pretty much the pick strategy for Contentpilled is less about what are you comfortable on as a player and more about what are the easiest maps in the pool that we can potentially take points off of them on, right? Much less about a usual pick ban strategy here.
Yeah, exactly. And it is to be noted that even on those maps where you would typically see the underdog go and pick against the bigger team, maps like Nomad 1, for example, where we would often see the weaker team picking into Nomad 1, that might not be such a great of an option, as this Nomad 1 being fairly typical also has like tricky streams and slider jump patterns, which make it slightly more difficult and more easier to shit miss on. So that could be also very risky, and the consistency tests against a team that's just overall really better really might not work out that well. So it already seems kind of limited in terms of picking options for Team Contentpilled.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, you want to be able to pick. You want to be able to pick stuff you're comfortable on, but like you said, the baseline for how good you have to be to play a lot of these maps is pretty high. So for Contentpilled, I think a lot of it is just going to come down to what are the lowest star rating maps in the pool that aren't Hidden 2 or 3mod 3, because those picks are actually pretty hard. Outside of those picks, you want low star rating and you want relatively simple patterning. I think that still ends up favoring stuff like the Nomad 1, the Hidden 1, the Hard Rock 1, because those are all relatively simple picks. Let's see if they end up actually going for those or not.
Yes, we're entering the ban phase now. Where I remain hopeful is that there was a huge decrease in difficulty between the qualifiers pool and this pool, so some of the players who might not have been able to shine on the qualifiers may be able to pull off much higher scores here on an easier pool. And we are seeing the Hard Rock 2 ban coming from Team Contentpilled, which on paper looks like a pretty logical ban.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think a lot of teams don't find it super hard for that Hard Rock 2. And there's the Nomad 1 ban from Sleep Accommodation, which
also
is
expected.
Very expected. I mean, this team is A, not really an aim team, and B, against a low seed team. So both of those really point to the Nomad 1 ban. As for Contentpilled, I think the Hard Rock 2 ban is probably a preference thing more than anything else, just not wanting to play Hard Rock and CS 6.5 in particular. TS Fury is not really a CS 6.5 Hard Rock player, much better on double time stuff and mechanics mostly for TS Fury. So it is a good matchup for Contentpilled's best player into Sleep Accommodation. Just a question of how well the backup scores can provide that little bit of buffer for TS Fury to maybe take break points or A points in this match.
Yeah, TS Fury being a competent DT player surely will help on those DT picks, because as you pointed out earlier, Sleep Accommodation really has a solid speed and DT roster, so they'll probably be picking into that sooner or later into this match. Or any match for that factor. But maybe actually we could see Contentpilled going on the free mod path, as those maps always tend to have like strange score lines, as you would see like someone unexpectedly popping off on the Hidden, for example, and carrying the team score. But it is going to be free mod 2 as the first pick, actually. Not the free mod I was expecting, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm definitely a little interested to see how this one goes. Picking a speed map into a team like Sleep Accommodation is not what I was expected from Contentpilled. That said, it's not like this map is particularly difficult. It's a really straightforward pick, and for the Hard Rock players is going to be, I think, pretty simple as well. It's CS3 to start, so you're playing Hard Rock and it's only CS 3.9. Yes, the AR and OD go up to 10, but for most high-ranked players, the trade-off is actually a good one because it's not AR 9 anymore. I think for Contentpilled, we are probably going to see extra hiddens compared to probably 3 Hard Rock for Sleep Accommodation, because I think this map is very Hard Rock favored at the highest level.
Yeah, as you said, very Hard Rock favored. I know that usually 3mod 2 maps in recent pools have been speed maps, but this is more of a stamina consistency map in my opinion, so this could play in their favor, as if they're not so comfortable on speed, they could be on like consistency streams, which aren't too fast BPM.
Yeah, like you said, only 211 BPM, so really not a super speedy, but for a lot of lower ranked players, that is fast. For a lot of lower ranked players, 211 BPM can be fast, so We'll see how well Contentpilled holds up on their first pick and whether they want to keep picking into these slightly speedier, more stamina-intensive maps, or whether they want to move towards something else after this one. It's a good litmus test for the rest of the match going into this map.
And actually, both teams going double hit and double hard rock. I was definitely not expecting Welter to take hard rock. I would have thought he would take a hit. And pretty logical mod combinations on the right side. And really, the entering the consistency stream tests, and the first miss is going to be from Summion. Not too significant. This map is not the longest in world, so gotta pay attention to those combo drops. We are seeing a trade now.
Yeah, Sleep Accommodation finding a couple of drops. Shadow of Dark will drop also, and Summion now really looking uncomfortable here as we get into the map proper. TS Fury dropping there as well. And so Contentpilled really not able to hold together a lot of full combos. Chromasia somehow still full comboing with 88%, 89% accuracy right now. Not going to be enough considering the three-way full combo from Amamiya Kokoro, Skrull, and Welter. Skrull will drop as I say that, but still a two-way FC and big act lead for Sleep Accommodation.
Yeah, where I'm a bit concerned is that their carry performance on Chromasia has really low AC, as you pointed out, and those low AC scorers, as long as you hold combo, it can be okay, but as soon as the combo drops, your score is basically dead. And there it goes, actually, as I say it. Really unfortunate. And now basically no combo, apart from the slight recovery on TS Fury. Facing still two full combos, my apologies. Still two full combos, one on hard rock, one on hit, and Amamiya Kokoro and Welter with also the recovery. It's basically all combos in favor of Sleep Accommodation right now. Not the opening pick you were hoping for, I guess.
Yeah, no, definitely not. XD from Shadow of Dark on this one. I can kind of see why. Rico's got the 600 combo supporting score. FCs from Amamiya Kokoro and Welter. Skrull is not having a great time for Sleep Accommodation, but even then he's still outscoring everyone on Contentpilled. So this one's, it's Jover. It's Jover.
Yeah, unfortunately. As you said, though, TS Fury with the impressive accuracy, matching basically the accuracies on the left side of the screen, so really a very good performance on him, but just not even close to being enough to match. Still two full combos on Welter and Amamiya Kokoro. Amamiya with a slightly lower accuracy, but it doesn't matter at this point. It's already like 1.5 million lead. That's actually huge. Amamiya is going to drop it. Welter is still holding.
Yeah, a bit rough at the ending here for Sleep Accommodation. I frankly expected them to do a little bit better on this map. I thought this was going to be a pick for Sleep Accommodation, so I was expecting more along the lines of 3.5 million team score. They are seed number 3. That's kind of to be expected from them. But you do still have a full combo from Welter, so overall good team score for them. Contentpilled, unfortunately, you know, this is what happens. This is the 3 versus 30 matchup. So unfortunately, Contentpilled, the first pick, not working out. Maybe we go into something outside of the speed, because Sleep Accommodation is really strong on that speed regardless. And even if Contentpilled had slightly better scores on that, they're just completely out of reach on this skill set, I think. So hoping for them to pick up something different for the next map.
And you start to wonder why this was their first pick, as they are the obvious underdogs in this match, but you get a 1.1 million score on your opening pick. Even for a lower-seeded team, that's not the performance you would necessarily expect. And I mean, as you pointed out, still a very good score on Sleep Accommodation. Maybe a bit lower than our expectancies, but still more than enough. It was nearly a 2 million lead at the end, so nothing they could do, unfortunately, on the first pick. And they're rolling right into hit and one, which also should be very favored for Sleep Accommodation with players like Welter and Amamiya Kokoro.
Yeah, Skrull as well, probably coming back in for this, was on the hidden on that free mod 2. I'm a little surprised to see them picking into aim so early. Maybe just try to pick more into hidden than into aim per se, but definitely a little interesting to see them pick into aim this early. I feel like this is not a team that really wants to pick aim against a lot of other squads. That said, they do have a lot of really good aim players anyway. They have players like Team Botcone, Skrull, Welter, Amamiya Kokoro. The list Sperry, also a really good aim player and comfortable enough on hidden, I think, to come in for this if he is around. It does look like, though, that we might just be getting a similar roster for sleep accommodation, as Rico's still in, Welter's still in, Amamiya Kokoro's still in. So we might just be getting the same 4 players for both of these teams once again, as Contentpilled also with the same exact roster.
Yeah, as you pointed out, it is a name map, but it's more of the awkward slider jump aim than the consistency challenge, so not as risky as would be a Hard Rock or Nomad 1 against a lower seeded team. So that could justify this hidden pick, as you were saying. And we maybe are going to see one change on the side of sleep accommodation. Yet to be determined.
See if they end up, yeah, it will be one
About Cone.
One sub coming in for sleep accommodation.
Yeah, welcome to the lobby, buddy.
Yeah, I think that's a sub that makes sense. Rico is really not a good player, so. Oh, never mind, they have 5 people in the lobby right now, apparently.
We'll just wait until they get this sorted out.
Alright, looks like the same 4 players for Contentpilled. Going into the first pick for sleep accommodation. Like you said, very awkward aim focused, more so than just basic consistency. That said, it is AR 9.3 and 187 BPM, so it's not particularly, like, it's not really dense. It's not very combo dense. There's not really a reading focus to this map at all. So for the players on Contentpilled, reading is probably not going to be all that much of an issue, and it's just going to be about how good is your awkward aim, how well can you read the slider jumps in this map, and how big of a combo can you string together on this pick against seed number 3's first pick. Early break for Amamiya Kokoro as we get into it, but a bit of a weird pattern to start things off anyway.
Traded by the Shadow of Dark. And immediately you see a couple of those accuracies dropping a bit on TS Fury and Shadow of Dark and Amamiya Kokoro with the early misses. Once again, it shouldn't be too significant, but we'll see how both teams handle it as the match goes on. We're seeing once again a trade between Amamiya Kokoro and the Shadow of Dark, so the combos are about even. That's the score advantage purely based off of accuracy, and Hermesia now is going to drop as well. Only 2 full combos left on the right side. Meanwhile, sleep accommodation obviously looking more comfortable. Scrollo is going to trade actually, so in combos, once again, it's about even, but not for long as Simeon is going to drop. And now, as you said, TS Fury, the carry performance.
The only one with combo left for Contentpilled. Aimbot Cone and Welter still with FCs, though. I feel like if they don't break around the middle of the map, like right now or so, it's pretty much over. There goes Welter. Okay, Aimbot Cone, will he miss? Is really the only question. Because it's all on TS Fury to carry this, and if Aimbot Cone keeps the combo, then that carry performance is impossible for TS Fury. And he does make it through that hard section, so I think this one is pretty much over. 300k score lead already for sleep accommodation, and with how frequent the resets are for Contentpilled, it doesn't seem doable unless that miss had already come through for Aimbot Cone.
Yeah, as you said, if Aimbot Cone had missed, and he does miss actually, so TS Fury now the only full combo left in the entire lobby, but it's just not going to be enough as there is literally no recovery combos on Team Contentpilled. Apart from Hermesia with a slight recovery on 200 combo, but really low accuracy, so you really see this difference in comfort, and despite the amazing performance on TS Fury, it's just not going to be enough, unfortunately. But they are looking a lot more comfortable on this map than they were on their opening pit, literally, so once again, you start to wonder why they went for 3-mod-2 at their opening pick. And is TS Fury going to get the full combo? Final patterns of the map hits them perfectly. And unless he missed in the very beginning, this is a full combo.
Yeah, nice up C. Nice up C for TS Fury. Unfortunately, not going to be enough, as the average score for sleep accommodation is closer to 600k than to 500k, and Contentpilled outside of TS Fury with a bunch of 300k scores on their side. And that's really the story for this team, is that TS Fury was able to carry them through the qualifiers and The rest of the team really did not have a lot of great scores, so this is going to be the story of this match as well, is TS Fury trying his best, but probably there not being enough gas in the tank for the rest of the team to get them over the finish line. And Sleep Accommodation likely just able to team gap on most of these maps.
Yeah, it is really unfortunate. TS Fury with the amazing performance, outplaying everyone on the left side actually, but as you said, it's just not enough. No consistency on the right side, unfortunately. And they are looking as they are maybe perhaps lacking a bit of roster depth as well, as we saw no roster changes so far on their side. So that's also a little bit concerning.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the team, right, aside from the 4 people who are currently in, I think they have 1 4-digit and 1 more 5-digit on the roster. The other 2 of their 6 are 6 digits and, well, are not going to be unfortunately, not going to be super helpful on a pool that's difficult. So
yeah, this pool is a bit difficult for 6 digits, unfortunately.
Yeah, hoping we maybe get a sub in for either Ayumi or Melons, who are the remaining 5-digit and 4-digit respectively.
So going for Hard Rock 1, the aim consistency map, well, the remaining one that is, as Nomad 1 was banned earlier. This is looking like a smarter pick than Fremont 2, to be honest. I think they should have gone with this on the opening pick, but better late than never, and hopefully they can get a point on the board with this.
I mean, this is the type of thing that we said we wanted to see them pick, right? Is the Hard Rock 1, the Nomad 1, the Hidden 1. And to be fair, they looked better on the Hidden 1 than they did on the Fremont 2. So definitely convinced that this is probably a better pick for them than a lot of the other maps left up in the pool. There was the Nomad 1 ban from Sleep Accommodation as well, which is why that Hidden 1 pick was so surprising. That said, it is still going to be an uphill battle for Contentpilled, just based off the rank difference, based off the experience difference in big tournaments and on map pools. It's difficult for them to take a point. So let's see if they can take a point in this match. We do have a sub in for Melons instead of Shadow of Dark. Chromasia, Simeon, and CS Fury all staying in so far. And on the other side of Welter, Amamiya, Kokoro, Sprawl, and Aimbot Cone coming in for Sleep Accommodation. I believe that is the same roster we saw for Hidden 1.
Yeah, it is. No changes on the side of the Sleep Accommodation. Only 1 change on the side of Contentpilled. And perhaps Melons is a Hard Rock specialist on their team, so hopefully that can work out for them. If TS Fury is able to make the difference once again and Sleep Accommodation find the unfortunate shit misses, this could be doable actually, but it's looking like a dire situation already. Okay, we are seeing 1 more sub on the side of Sleep Accommodation.
Okay, everybody is... Oh, nope, somebody else left now. Hold on. Okay, there we go. We've got everyone. Everyone is in. We have 4 players on both teams. I think we're okay for now. Both teams should be ready to go.
Yeah, it is to be noted that the score gap was really a lot closer on the second map, only being 400k, which can seem to be a lot, but when you compare it to the near 2 million score gap on the first map, it's not that much.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's much better picks, I think, in the AIM maps for Contentpilled, and they definitely did have a much better time on the Hidden 1 than on that Fremont 2, right? You saw nobody dropping the 100k like on the Fremont 2. Everybody was at least 240k or above. So it was a better map for them than the Fremont 2. That said, still, again, an uphill battle, as you already see a couple members on Contentpilled finding early break. Simeon and TS Fury, actually, with a very early break. Melons and Chromasia on the full combo for the Hard Rock 1 for now. Map is relatively straightforward, but there is a lot of polygon aim and a little bit of linear aim in this map as well, so it's not completely just straightforward farm jumps. There is a little bit of an awkward factor to it. Not to the same degree as Hidden 1, though. Still relatively comfortable to play. As you see, everyone on Sleep Accommodation still holding onto the full combos, about a quarter of the way into the map. Another drop for Sumyon on the stream. But everybody else on Contentpilled, either with a very good recovery or on the full combo. Amamiya Kokoro missing on the 1/3 as well. Very, very good for Contentpilled.
Yeah, we were seeing kind of Amamiya struggling earlier with the accuracy being significantly lower than his teammates. So this is definitely going to help a little bit, but unfortunately Sumyon really struggling to find his footing on this map. No combo to speak of, but so far being carried by his teammates, but they're going to need to find more missing on the left side. Unfortunately, Melon's going to be the next one to drop. Not traded. And Chromasia, the collapse happening halfway through. This is going to be a disaster for their team score. Yeah, it looks like the awkward aim is really not working for them so far. I mean, the opposite team is doing so well. They're being so consistent. And look at these accuracies, 99.34 in Welter.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you have a team gap like this one. Unfortunately, it's really TS Fury against the world. Not even on the full combo for TS Fury. He is actually on a reverse choke right now. Did miss right at the start. Rico will drop as well for Sleep Accommodation, but there's only so much that one drop like that can do. There's still 2 full combos on Welter and Skrull. Skrull will miss. It is only Welter left with the full combo, but that is a 600,000 score lead. And we are at the point in the map where there's only about 300,000 scores left to be had for TS Fury anyway. So even if Welter misses at this point, we are past the point of no return. There is no way for a comeback to happen for Contentpilled, and so this will be point number 3 going over to Sleep Accommodation. Honestly, well played from Contentpilled, though. You have 400k on Chromasia and Melons, and so it's not as if the team is completely struggling on this map either. It's just outplayed by Welter and Skrull and Rico in particular, who all have really, really solid scores.
Yeah, as you pointed out, really not a bad score overall. It's the first time they're above the 2 million score gap, but not enough, unfortunately. Nearly 3 million score for Sleep Accommodation, and it will be the FC for Welter. And the reverse choke on TS Fury, once again, doing everything he could to carry his team score, but unfortunately not enough to match 2 700k scores on Sleep Accommodation. And that one miss on Rico is actually really heartbreaking. Like, his accuracy is excellent, and he missed, I believe, the final circle of the solo pattern. And Sleep Accommodation shooting right into DT3 as their next pick. Looking to speed abuse with players like Aim.Cone, for example, really, really proficient at tapping. And we kind of pointed it out yesterday, but DT3 in round 32 already being at 263 BPM is no joke.
Yeah, this is, well, I mean, this is the extension of what happened on 3mod2, right? You've already won on 3mod2, so why not pick in some more speed? This is a team that is already very, very solid on speed, and even with what I think is only 5 players right now, we haven't seen anybody else aside from the 5 players on the side of the accommodation that have already been in. Welter, Rico, Skrull, Amamiya Kokoro, and Aim.Cone are the only 5 we've seen so far. I think that's all they need for this matchup, as the team is just that good, and these 5 players are enough to still put up near 3 million team score on pretty much every map that they've played so far. I think DT3 is going to be included in that. It's probably not the best of picks for, I think, Amamiya Kokoro in particular, but Welter, Aim.Cone, and Rico are all really, really good on speed. So I don't see this going the way of Contentpilled. I think this is one of the best maps left in the pool for Sleep Accommodation right now, alongside probably the Double Time 2.
Yeah, you know what? Oh, now we saw the rosters, but I was about to say I'm gambling on both 6 digits on Contentpilled being double tap geniuses.
But maybe they subbed them in. Maybe they subbed them in for the last map, you know? You never know. Never know. Regardless, though, I think same roster as the previous map for Contentpilled. Yeah, all the same 4 players left in at the moment. Early breaks for Melons on this map, who is very clearly not comfortable with the speed in this map, down at 78% accuracy. Does find the drop alongside Chromasia, who is similarly uncomfortable. Amamiya Kokoro also not having a fun time right now, 85% act for him. Rico and Aim.Cone also dropping combo. Sumyon will miss on the jumps in this section, though. TS Fury is going to over-tap. And,
it's really unfortunate.
lobby's kind of a fiesta. It's just kind of
Yeah,
a fiesta right
all
now.
those misses really. Welter once again. So no full combo is actually in the lobby anymore. Unless Mamiya is still in the full combo actually. With low accuracy I got kind of tricked, but maybe it's a full combo. But it's really unfortunate on TS Fury and Simeon as they were actually doing pretty okay in the intro of this map. And still the relatively high accuracy on TS Fury, but just look at the teammates and it's not going to happen unfortunately, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically gonna have to be. It's basically gonna have to be a 3v4 for Contentpilled because Chromasia and Melons count as one person right now.
Yeah, literally. Welter
And,
drops once again, so it's only aimbot cone actually against TS Fury.
Yeah, TS Fury not on the full combo though, and so aimbot cone would need to drop right now pretty much. It's already at 400,000 and climbing score lead for Sleep Accommodation. And with aimbot cone making it through that section, now a bunch of free combo in this part, I think this one's pretty much over. Nicely done from TS Fury. This one is clearly something that Contentpilled is not really good at, right? They're clearly not a speed team, so unfortunately gonna be dropping the 100K or so for a few members on Contentpilled, 200K or so for Simeon.
Yeah, if there
That's
were
alright.
to be a path where they could come back, TS Fury would have to hold and Simeon would have to recover a gigantic combo, but it's just not going to happen. Despite, once again, TS Fury doing everything he can, really an admirable performance on his side. We are seeing the recoveries on Mamiya. Never mind, forget I spoke. So recovery on Welter only now, and aimbot cone still with the large combo. I don't think it's a full combo, I think he missed early on in the map. Yeah, this one is over.
Maybe? I don't know. The AC is 96. It might be a full combo. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he missed early on. We'll see.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, one miss.
Okay. Well, no full
Reverse choke
combos.
on aimbot cone.
Yeah. No full combos. Nice reverse choke on both aimbot cone and TS Fury. Nice try. Nice try for the Contentpilled players. But, yeah, good pick for Sleep Accommodation. Very good pick for them.
Yeah, I mean, the 263 BPM on the first round of the tournament is just mean. It's mean. Like, you don't have a speed team? What are you supposed to do? 263 BPM. Yeah, those bursts, don't play around.
Yeah, that's just how it is. That's just how it is in open rank tournaments. If you're not good at a skill, you will flop, and flop pretty hard. So, bit of flopping for Contentpilled on that one. We'll see how well they do on the next pick. This is potentially their last pick. If they do lose this one, they are out of the winners bracket and into the losers bracket.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you're starting to wonder where they can go with this. As Nova 2 wouldn't be a good idea. It's a tapping map. I mean, the tapping is okay, but the flow aim, I'm not so sure for Team Contentpilled. The remaining 3 mods, perhaps, they could find something to do with this. Nomad 3 and Nomad 4, as you said early on in the match, they're probably going to want to avoid this. And it is going to be Nomad 2. Nomad 2. So the tapping in this map is only 185 VPN, if I'm not mistaken, but the flow aim is pretty unforgiving, even for early stage.
This one is, I think, one of the easier maps in this pool, though. If you compare the flow aim in this to something like Nomad 3 or Fremod 1, the flow aim here is far more forgiving. There's not a lot of really high spacing in this map. Like, there's not a lot of actual spaced streams. They start to get a little bit spaced out near the end, but for most of the map, it's pretty tame. So I think this is a pretty good call, actually, from Contentpilled to go for something like this. It's at a low enough BPM where I think a lot of their members are going to be comfortable enough on something like this. And as always, when you are low seed versus high seed, you just pray for the other team to shit miss. And if Sleep Accommodation shit misses, maybe they can get a point. Otherwise, it's obviously the match trend is for Sleep Accommodation to win this one as well. If you're rooting for an upset to the pick'ems, you're rooting for Contentpilled to take a point. I, however, put 5-0 in my pick'ems, so I am rooting for Sleep Accommodation.
Yeah, so did I, and I mean, despite that, you always kind of want to root for the underdog to perform on at least one map, and Simeon is probably a bit late. We're going to see him catch up. Yeah, there it goes. And as you said, the biggest danger on this map is basically note locking or chain missing. And if Sleep Accommodation were to find note locks on all 4 of their players and that could result in a huge amount of score loss because you just don't log on a stream and you miss on the entire stream, and so you lose like 50 or 100k points. So that's basically their only hope for Contentpilled to get a point. And we are seeing once again TS Fury holding on strong with the SS as well as Sumion. And on the side of Sleep Accommodation, still 3 SSs in this intro. And no roster changes once again on Sleep Accommodation actually. Melon's going to be the first one to drop. Not the end of the world so far, but they need to hold on. So far, the accuracies are looking a lot more promising on Contentpilled, actually. And it is traded by Amamiya Kokoro. Chromasia, unfortunately, missing as well, but Amamiya missed a whole lot of notes, and his accuracy dropped down really low, actually, below 90% now. And for the first time in the match, we have seen a score lead on Contentpilled, which has now gone away due to the higher combo on Sleep Accommodation, but still, it is promising. The map is not over yet. It is a short map, so we're going to need to see more misses on the side of Sleep Accommodation, but you never know.
Ooh, there goes
unfortunately, double miss.
Chromasia, though, yeah, double miss for Contentpilled. It's just TS Fury with the full combo. Melon's also resetting really recently, so everything on TS Fury once again. Welter, Aimbotcone, and Rico all holding the FCs for Sleep Accommodation. And this is the worry on any map in this pool for Contentpilled. They had a really solid run on the first half of this map as well. A lot of high combos on multiple members in the first half of the map, but just not enough coming into the end here where the difficulty spikes up and you get a lot of higher spacing on the streams. I'm going to be a Kokoro to miss once again for Sleep Accommodation, but it seems like this match is probably over, and Contentpilled not going to be able to take a point. Will get swept into the losers bracket by Sleep Accommodation.
Yeah, and one last time, we are going to see this recurring theme of TS Fury versus the world, basically. Still 3 full combos. This is actually a really good team score on Sleep Accommodation, right, by the way. Only Amamiya Kokoro, unfortunately, is struggling a lot on this map, but still 3 very high accuracy full combos. And one especially, which I will not talk about anymore. And, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Rico, I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh. And he, I think, overstreams on purpose near the end there.
I didn't say his name, so does that even count?
It definitely counts. You spoke. Why speak?
I'm so sorry. It is going to be 2 full combos to 1. TS Fury with an amazing performance once again. Top scorer of the lobby, actually. Aimbotcone and Welter, 2 full combos. Rico, almost a full combo. And yeah, that's basically going to be it. Team Contentpilled dropping through the losers bracket, but not without a fight, especially on TS Fury, with amazing scores throughout the entire match.
Yeah, honestly, not a bad performance from Contentpilled during this match. Pointing specifically to the Hard Rock one and the Hidden one, I think they had some pretty good scores on those maps. The rest of the match going about as expected, but on the Hard Rock one and the Hidden one, they did look pretty solid. They were able to put up some good scores overall. So, they
definitely showed up
in the losers bracket. Just gonna be tough once again.
Yeah, they definitely tried. They showed up. They played the match. They did their share part of the job, and unfortunately, it was just not enough against a team as strong as Sleep Accommodations with overall really impressive team scores. And most notably, Welter, maybe also Aimbotcone, shoutouts for amazing performances overall throughout this match. Rico also. Really solid team overall. I don't think we even saw Les Perry, Nathan Ram, and Luke Rice.
We saw none of them. No, we saw none of those 3. They played with 5 and still won like that for Sleep Accommodation. So,
and those 3 are also very scary.
Yeah. Yeah, so very, very well done for Sleep Accommodation. Played with 5 members and still swept 5-0. Very nicely done. They move on to the next round of winners bracket where they face off against, I believe, it's going to be Ballers Will Ball in the winners bracket. I think that's their matchup. I believe that's their matchup.
They're playing seed 6, I guess, so...
Or seed...
that would be
seed
that.
6, seed 13, it would be.
Oh, 13, yeah, sorry. I'm one round ahead, sorry. Never mind.
So yeah, good luck to them in the winners bracket against Ballers Will Ball. Good luck to Contentpilled against PSG in the losers bracket. And that is it for this match. We do have another match coming up in about 20 minutes or so. That match is going to be Halcyon versus Russian team name, which I'm not going to try to pronounce. I don't know how to pronounce that. We've got that coming up
me
in
neither.
about 20 minutes or so, so stick around for that one. But for now, we're going to say our goodbyes, go on a little bit of a break. Thanks for watching. Thanks for casting, Subaru, and we'll see you guys in 20 minutes.
Thank you, Joe. See you in 20 minutes.